For those of you who are new to Chiranjeev Gurukul, CG is a learning platform where we aim to create leaders to transform today's world using the power of Bharatiya Shastra or Indian wisdom. Chiranjeev Gurukul Sammelan is an initiative by our community to inspire, inform, and grow. The purpose of Sammelan is to bring together the contemporary value of eternal Indian wisdom through interactive and engaging learning sessions that open our eyes to the application of Indian wisdom. So today, we have gathered for our 11th Chiranjeev Gurukul Sammelan, an insightful panel discussion on Nritya for fostering learning at workplaces. So before we begin, I would like to start with an invocation. So I would welcome you all to take a deep breath, flutter your eyes closed, roll your shoulders back, and sit straight. Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunantu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvina Vadidamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namaste everyone and welcome. I would like to take this moment to invite you all to please put your videos on. It would be lovely to see you all if it's possible. And thank you again very much for joining us today on a beautiful Thursday evening. And it's a pleasure to see you all. Oh, there we go. Lots of cameras coming on. And we're really looking forward to today's panel discussion on Nritya for fostering learning at workplaces. We have with us today Reema Waghji, founder chairperson of the Kala Nritya Institute, who is also the author of Nritya Kosh on Indian classical dances, which was authored for the ICSC board, and also Dr. Sandeep Chaugule, Natya Ratnakar, and also head of HR for Forvio India Technology Center. And moderating today's panel discussion, we have with us our very own Upasana Tendulkar, CG community member, who also leads her own initiative. I'm sure you all must have heard, Dancing Tales. So over to you, Upasana, and thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Aditi. Namaste, everyone. So we have a beautiful discussion lined up today. So before starting the discussion, let me take everyone little deeper into the panelist profile so we can connect with what they are saying and from where is it coming. So Reema Waghji, she is a trained Bharatanatyam and folk dancer. She has done her MA in Performing Arts and Business Studies. She is a founder of Kala Nritya Academy, which has its branches in Dadar, Varri, and Parel. She believes that great dancers are not great just because of their techniques, but they are great because of their passion. The very interesting thing that she has done is she has authored a book called Nritya Kosh, which is on Indian classical dancing, and which is a part of, which is basically recognized by ICSC board. And then we have Dr. Sandeep Chaugule, who is the Deputy Director HR for Forvia Technical Center India. He has completed his PhD, and the subject of research is analytical study of work-life balance as key factor for employee engagement. This sounds as a HR profile, but He's also a well-accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer. He is a Visharad in it, and his core lies in bringing application of dance into workplace. So let's start the discussion. So the objective of the Sammelan is to understand how Nritya, which is loosely translated as dance, can be used in our day-to-day life, and especially in organization at individual and organizational level as whole. So to even understand how it can be applied, I would first like to go to Rimatai. I will call her Rimatai throughout the Sammelan because she is my Bharatanatyam guru as well, and I feel it's a great pleasure to share a platform with her today. So I will first go to Rimatai and I will ask her, what is the origin of Nritya? What is the history of Nritya? And if you can, I understand little of Natya Shastra, and I know there is a beautiful story in it. And if you can quickly take us through it, so we can start from the start.
Sure. Thank you, Upasana, for that. Namaskar, everyone. So before we understand any type of dances, the root is Natya Shastra for anything. So Natya Shastra, the word itself says that Natya means drama and Shastra is science. So basically science related to drama. So it is basically the treatise written by Bharata Muni but created by Brahmaji. Of course, when it comes to mythology, story has to be there, as Upasana said. I would like to share this story in short because if I go on, it will be longer. So I'll begin from the golden age, wherein after the golden age, we had this Treta Yuga, silver age, which commenced. And people became addicted to some sensual pleasures, and they also started getting the emotions like desire, greed, and jealousy, anger. And basically, because of all this, everybody started finding happiness mixed with sorrow. So basically, Lord Indra, along with other gods, went to Lord Brahmaji and he started, asking for some distraction, something, some object which would help them to diverse their control. They can control their desires and everything. And so that is how basically Lord Indra asked them to create something, because see, Vedas we have, I think everybody here knows about Vedas. So basically Vedas cannot be read by everybody. So that is what the second point which he kept was like something you create which can be audible and visible to everybody. It should be for everyone, not just for particular caste or anyone. So that is how, after thinking so much, he said, yeah, so be it, I will create something. So once that was done, he started thinking, and then he thought, ki, what can I give that will distract everyone and something fruitful that will be helpful for everyone. So basically, when he thought of something, he started to, get few parts, which I will explain which are they, from 4 Vedas, and he started to compile the 5th Veda. So he took recitative, Pathya, from Rig Veda, then songs from Samaveda, histrionic representation, what we call as Abhinaya expressions, that he took from Yajur Veda, and sentiments, that is rasas, from Atharva Veda. Thus, after compiling all this together, he created a Natya Veda, which is also known as Pancham Veda, because it is the 5th Veda which was created. And this could be, visible, audible, readable to everyone in general. So once this Pancham Veda was created, he went back, Brahmaji went back to Lord Indra saying that now you gods can learn this. But he said, no, we are not fit for that. Somebody who is, holy one, who has actually given up everything in life and who knows Vedas, who understands everything, should be the person learning this. So finally he said, sages, you can go to sage Bharata Muni on the earth. So Brahmaji appeared in front of Bharat Muniji, and he said that, you along with your 100 children. Now here in Natya Shastra, 100 children meant were 100 students. So when he asked these ones, 100 children are there, so you learn this play and you perform it. So that would be of, great help. Let's see how it works out. So finally, Bharat Muni ji accepted it, and he, along with his 100 students, started to plan and learn and dramatize it. Once it was ready, he again went back to Brahmaji and said, now we are set. But somewhere this dance performers or dance drama, what we are going to perform, it will be incomplete if we don't have grace in it, some girls in it, ladies in it. So Brahmaji created some nymphs like Apsaras and Gandharvas to perform along with their team of Bharat Muni ji. So finally, before the final performance, of course, we always have some rehearsal. Similarly, they thought, let's present it in front of our Lord, the king of dance, Nataraja, basically. So they performed in front of Lord Shiva. And when they started performing it, he was so happy. Shiva, looking at this, Lord Shiva was so happy that he told his assistant Tandu, from whose name this Tandava is basically given. So Tanduji, he told Tandu to gift his Tandava to Bharat Muni, so that, they can include this dance form in Natya Shastra as well. So basically, Natya Shastra speaks about everything, all the stage crafts. It is not only bound to dance, but everything related to performing arts, all performing arts. So after that, when it was performed, Tandav was got to Bharata Muniji. Last year, what we know, that is Parvati, she taught her dance to Uma, and it came down to Saurashtra, ladies from Saurashtra, and that is how Lasya came on the earth. And when Bharata Muniji came back, he converted this entire Natya Veda into a written form, and it was known as Natya Shastra, basically. And the first theatrical performance which they performed on stage after this, because I'm not going to go too much into depth, because if I go ahead, the chapter 2 will open, chapter 3 will open. So basically sometime next time, but definitely Samudra Manthan was the first performance which they performed on stage. And this is how dance came on the earth. Thank you.
That's a beautiful one to start with. So, as I understand, Shastra and Veda, both they are called Veda and Shastra because they have relevance throughout in all times. So, I'm sure the story that is narrated by Rimate has relevance today as well. And I would request Sandeep ji to come forward and tell what it means in today's world for us.
First of all, thank you so much, Rimaji. It was a wonderful story. I was engrossed into listening to the story. Definitely, when we talk about Natya Shastra or maybe Pancham Veda, then it is eternal. When we talk about eternity, that means it started that time, it is here, and it is going to be there later on. We don't know that infinity also. That means it is eternal. And when Rimachi started, that there was a golden age, and then there was some kind of people got involved into various things. And when I want to trace the parallels of this whole story into our day-to-day life, then definitely I come with a word which is called as lethargy, or maybe mundane world. That means I am doing everything the same thing. Now I'm getting bored. I don't know what to do. And definitely that time Indra, when we talk about Indra, then definitely it is Indriyas. That means the limbs of us wants to do something which is going to cut down this mundane aspect as such. Then where do Indra go? Indra goes to Brahma. Now, when we talk about Brahma's iconography, then Brahma is definitely creativity personified. When, because he has created the world, any creation starts, whether it is demonic or maybe godly creation, it is by Brahma. And that is what we have been seeing and listening from all the stories. The Indriyas goes to Brahma, that is creative mind, and says, now I have this mundane life. Can you give something which is going to be much more creative and essential for leading me into this life? And thus the appearance of Bharat Muni comes into the picture. When we talk about Bharata, it has three words, that is aksharas, bha, ra, ta. And of course, Rimaji is going to talk about it. But then bha means bhav, which is expressions. Ra means emotions, rag. And that is why we see rag in music also, because it is emotional. It talks about emotions. And ta, that is tal, that is rhythm. And then something which is going to combine whole of this thing, that is emotions, expressions, and the rhythm. Then what has to it? What it can be? And definitely it is going to be one of the performance which is going to include whole of the five senses, and that is why we come with a word which is called as Panchama Veda. That means there are already four Vedas which are there, but then which involves all the five senses, which comes into a piece called as Panchama Veda or maybe Natya Veda. Natya means dance or performance. As Rimaji said, definitely dance is the one performing portion among all the performing arts which comprises everything. Does dance has dialogue? Yes. That means I am using my Vani. Does dance has vision? Yes, definitely. For a dancer, for a viewer, both. Can dance touch? Then definitely it can touch the soul. It can have those impacts also. And of course, when I'm going to use my foot on the ground, then I am touching to the Mother Earth and bringing that energy and spreading that energy to everyone. Can I use my gustatory aspects? Definitely yes, because in Marathi we say no, potatna bhavna potatna card. That means from the core of your uh, body, you should start emoting. And can you listen? Yes, music is the integral part of any performance. That means we are using all these five limbs as such. And what is better? It is the dance performance which is going to be better. Where to perform? Then the Atma, that is, I am holding this thing, needs to go somewhere and uplift these mundane things. Now creativity has come. I have to uplift myself. Where should I go to? Then there is nothing but who is going to be Nataraja or maybe Mahadev. And that is why I am lifting myself as a performer and as a viewer to that level where I am going to meet to that Paramatma. And that is why Shiva has been asked. Then Shiva has been talking about his performance to Tandu and Lasya. Now, when we talk about Tandava, Tandava doesn't literally means a fearful dance. When it is a part of dance which showing masculine part or maybe stronger part of rhythms, and then all five senses. And when we talk about lasya, only strength cannot lead the world. You need to have grace also into the world, and that is why Parvati's lasya comes into. And this is what is a beautiful combination that we see. It starts from Indra, that is our bodily desires, wants to do something out of this mundane life, and that comes into the form of dance, and it combines both masculine and feminine aspects together in form of tandem and lasya. Last but not the least, the first performance, as Rimaji said, of course there have been practices which has been done, but then it is said so that the first performance was Samudra Manthan. Now, why Samudra Manthan was chosen as the first performance? Because it is churning of the mind and the brain. That means mind wants to do something, your brain is leading you somewhere. Brain wants to do something, but mind is not letting you. And this churning is constantly taking in the mind and the body and the Atma, and maybe with Paramatma and Atma, this constant tussle has been taking place. And that is why I believe this whole story is just not a story, but it is our everyday's tussle with everything, and that is what is needed. And the answer is going to be definitely the Natya Shastra or maybe dancing performance. Of course, yes. Rajesh ji had said that it is churning of the right brain, left brain, the creativity and the rationalism. Whole of this tussle keeps on going. Should I do this thing? Should I not do this thing? Should I take that? Shouldn't I take that? Is that decision right? Is that decision wrong? And this is what is a tussle which is going on. Natya Shastra gives you a kind of way by which you will be able to definitely find out ways and means with the meaning of expression, emotion, and the rhythm. Rhythm, when we talk about day to day life, one rhythm which has been given at the time of birth is our
Yes.
breath. And then, if we combine these things with the breath of that rhythm, eternal rhythm, then definitely we can achieve many things. That's what I believe this story talks about.
Wow, that's like really brilliant. First of all, salutations to our Shastras for being so thoughtful. And I think it's a great start. This just took me back to the quote which says medicine, law, business, engineering. These are the noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life, but poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay for. So I think Natya Shastra brings in a great combination of both the two, and in individual life as well as in workplace, if we can achieve this balance, I think no, there will be no more mundane life, as you mentioned. So that's amazing. So we will now enter into what it means for, as the title says, that the relevance in the workplace. But to understand that, I think after knowing the origin, we need to know in India what are the types of dances and what do they explain to us. So, Rimata, if you can explain what are the types of dances in India and what is their origin like in like very brief.
So, Dr. Sandeep, that was fantastic. Of course, taking ahead, um, basically, our India is rich with, it is very rich with culture and heritage. So, we have basically classical dance forms, folk dance forms, and tribal dance forms. Classical are something which you need to go through training. Okay, so we have Bharatnatyam from Tamil Nadu, Kathak from Uttar Pradesh, Odissi from Orissa, now recent Orissa, but when it was originated, it was Orissa, now it is Odisha. So Kuchipudi from Andhra Pradesh, Kathakali and Mohiniyattam from Kerala. So here, Sir Sandeep, you had said, right? So masculine part of dance is Tandava and feminine is last year. So here I can give one example. So Kerala has basically Kathakali, which is Katha, speaking of Kathas, and as you said, dialogues are used. Yes, so Kathakali is a perfect example for Tandav type of dance because it is mostly done by the males of Kerala. And Mohiniyattam, the word itself says Mohini. So that is the lasya part of the dance, which is done by the females of Kerala. So just to connect the dots, I just said that. And the Satriya is the 8th dance form, which got its recognition from Sangeet Academy in 2000 as the classical dance form. So previous to that, we had only 7. Now we have 8 classical dance forms. Of course, we need to really go through vigorous trainings for that. But it is one of the finest culture we have. Another one is folk dances. Like we all know, we have different castes, religions, and everything over here in India. It's diversity. So basically, like if we say in simple words, Gujarat, if we take place of Gujarati, so we have Garba, Ras, Dandiya over there. If we take Rajasthan, we have Ghumar, Kalbelia, Maharashtra, Launi. Now, though we all are seeing that Mangala Gauri is also quite famous because of Vaipan Bhari Deva. Similarly, Koli dance of Goa. There are many, as many states we have right now. Every state has their own culture, and that culture is presented through dances. So even if it is functions, you don't need to really go through like on this particular bolas, this particular word dance for mudra has to be there, this dance has to be there. Here, Punjabis, for example, you play the music and you just go with the rhythm. So it is mostly used for entertainment or mostly for, venting out your emotions, whatever you are feeling, just not to portray some character. So this is how we can explain folk. Tribals, yes, because even in today's days, I think so, we don't have this electricity and entertainment things in local urban, very, very, this places, rural places. So tribal people, for their entertainment, most of the times they have these dance forms, like we have this bihu or naga dances and all. So these are sort of tribal dances. So this is the diverse types of dances we have in India.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I think with all these dances, what comes as a very common point, according to my understanding, is the idea to express. The idea is to show
Absolutely.
expressions, the idea is to show
Absolutely.
what we feel. So these are amazing. Like the variety that we have is amazing. But Sandeep ji, can we translate this into a day-to-day life of a person who is not at all connected to dance? And if yes, I mean I don't know what's your answer, but in case it's yes, then please explain how.
Sure. And definitely, Rimaji, thank you for that elaborate answer. When we want to classify these two aspects, then one is called as Natya Dharmi and the other one is called as Loka Dharmi. Dharmi means someone who is holding it. Now, there is a clan who is holding it. Natya Dharmi is a little refined because it has its own grammar, it has its own structure, etc. That means the process, the structure, the method, etc. needs to be there. Lokadharmi is pure expression. It comes from the heart. It comes from the bliss. It may have a structure, it may not have a structure. It may have a process, it may not have a process. Like for an example, Adivasi dance. That is what we could talk about. Then definitely we can definitely see that there are two patterns which is there. And at workplace, do we have such patterns? Definitely yes. We have something which is called a structure. We have something which is not as a structure. Then definitely how we can adopt both of them. That's one part. Now I'm coming to the second part. Now, when we talk about any dance, then there are forms. We call it as Angikam Bhuvanam Yasya, Vachikam Sarvavangmayam, Aharyam Chandrataradi, Tam Namah Satvikam Shivam. Now, when Angikam Bhuvanam, that means I am having whole of my Anga, that means whole body, is is the method or the resource. Vachikam Sarvavangmayam, that means I can talk about many of the literature that talks about. Aharyam Chandrataradi, that means can I just dance like that? No, I will have to take certain kind of attire which is going to incept me into the character, and that characterization can be taken into various places. Definitely, people like to see something which is aesthetically beautiful as well as well groomed also, and that is why Aharyam Chandra Taradi. It says, it doesn't say Chandra Suryadi, it says Chandra Taradi. That means something which is of mind and something which is of glittering. It doesn't say that something which is harsh as such. So aesthetic part comes into, and where all these things come goes body, the say, and the beauty. Where do they go? They go to the Sattvic Shiva, Sattva Shiva. That means the whole pattern of this dance form goes to something which is called as Sattva. Sattva means pure. Now, for an example, I will just explain with some kind of expressions. Okay, and when I'm explaining it, and then I will also narrate how it can be taken into workplace. Now I am showing only Angika. Okay, now I want to say come here. I'm just going back because I'm going to show it. Come here. This is Anga. I am showing with Anga. Now this is expression which is given by Anga. That means someone who is understanding with the body. Now I am not going to use Anga. I am going to use Sattva Abhinaya. That means I am just going to express everything with eyes. Now I am going to say the same thing. Come here. Now these are expressions. We could find out the way. Now this come here can be said as, now I'm taking Vachika. I can say come here. Come here. Why are you going there? Come here. Look, that person is going there. Don't go there. Come here. I'm telling you again and again. Come here. Why are you going? Why are you not listening to me? Come here. Are you going to listen to me? Come here. Can't you listen? Come here. You always do this thing. You don't listen to me. You don't come here. Now I'm telling, come here. The same expression of come here can be seen with so many layers. And that is what is the expression, emotion, and the rhythm comes into this thing. And that is what is, we could literally see with body also you can do that. With eyes also you can do that. Then why not by the mind? Definitely, because the mind takes you to all these expressions. At workplace, definitely, when we are seeing that there is a lot of change which is taking place in the workplace, many of many of the people are becoming people manager, or maybe they have to deal with a lot of people. Then understanding emotions, understanding the pattern of emotions, understanding, we call it as a buzzword, emotional intelligence, is needed to be understood by all of the people who are at workplace. And if you are a people manager or taking taking care of whole of the unit filled with people, then definitely one needs to understand these emotions. So for an example, I am doing this thing and I am saying yes, there is a meaning. Or maybe I'm saying there is a meaning. So we have to understand, it doesn't mean that everyone who is sitting here is not listening, but there is a dharma which is given to that individual. When I'm leading people, I need to understand each one's dharma, that is what is diversity that we see, and how am I going to include in the workplace, how am I going to deal with the emotions, how am I going to understand their expressions, how am I going to lead towards people leadership with all these aspects. Because the thing is that, if I am given a task to someone, the person will not remember after 10 years that task was done. But then the thing is that the task has been appreciated, not appreciated, rejected, accepted. The way it has been accepted, the way it has been rejected, makes lot of impressions in the mind of a person. So the task is a mean, but how do I deal with that task and how do I carry those tasks at workplace means a lot. And that carries the impression among self as well as others. And that is what is raga. When we talk about raga, that means a dancer is dancing on stage, performing something. But what is being spoken or performed here, is that reaching to 100 or 200 or 1000 people, that matters a lot. That means if I am finding jealousy, are those people who are watching me are feeling jealousy? I'm blissful. I am feeling love. I am feeling Shringar. Are those 1000 people understanding that Shringar? And that is what is Raga connection comes into. And that is what is purely one of the important aspects that we can take at workplace is expressions, emotions, and how to deal with that.
Here, I would like to, when I was listening to it, it was really nice. So basically, you really don't need to learn. I just could connect it with something. Of course, it was not discussed, but when we talk about Angika Abhinaya, there are 4 types of Abhinaya. Basically, Shabdanam Abhinmukhi Karanam, Abhinaya Shabdartham. So basically, to express to people. So I will just come down to what I wanted to say in this. Angikam is through your body, expressing through your body. As I said, Vachikam is through your speech. Aharya is through your jewelry or a costume or props. And Satvika is through your emotions. So basically, when I was just thinking and I was listening to you, I could connect every person, I guess, has these emotions inbuilt since the birth. Only thing is workplaces, they get them out of you. But I think so, even a smallest child right now, if I have to say, Angika, he says, no, mama, I don't want this food right now. You please take that away. Or get me this food. I'm very hungry. So automatically it comes, even the child can say that, I'm very hungry. He uses his pataka on his stomach, or he wants to eat. Give me something. Or he will tell something. So we can connect it to our day-to-day life, even as a child. Vachikam, he will speak and say, Mama, get me some food, or I have to finish my homework. He'll speak and say. That also can be connected. Aharya, when it comes, even the child knows when he has to go to school, he will definitely wear a uniform. But when he has to go to a party, definitely he'll seek the entire cupboard down and he'll get some nice hanky-panky dress matching to his other friends. So while going for playing, he'll of course have some, jersey and all that stuff worn and gone now. So that also comes into this thing. And Satvikam, when we talk about this, of course, when he falls down or she falls down, they hurt, they start crying. So those tears, when they are listening to their friends and they are giggling or laughing, that smile or the laughter, all these small things are, I think so, inbuilt in us. Only thing is dance polishes it. And Sir Sandeep, I think we all just put it up in the corporates, in the busy world, just to, get the emotions out and try to express ourselves when we are really, really stressed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was just thinking how at what levels, at what different levels in corporates and as in a personal individual life as well, we can use. You mentioned emotional intelligence. This is a buzzing word, and where at one place we say that emotions is not a thing for corporates, it naturally you cannot keep them away. I mean, this kind of understanding which comes nicely through Natya Shastra and which is an integral part of dance. But if we see dance as part of our lives and this emotion that we show are integral part of us and we cannot keep them separate, may it be corporate or personal life. And even the acknowledgement of it can create so much empathy in the corporate world. Then secondly, this is such a great leadership communication tool. I mean, a leader has to have great communication skills, as we say in Arthashastra Vagmi. So, what he feels, if he is not adding emotion, sentiments to it, it is not going to reach to the whole crowd. And it just cannot happen at the superficial level where the sattvika part comes in. It has to come from here. And it is so important for leader to know this. Really beautiful. I would like to ask here, Sandeep ji, are there any examples where you have actually used this in corporates and what did you do, if you are okay to share that?
Yes, sure. So one of the beautiful aspect of Indian classical dance, and I am particularly stressing to this part, Indian classical dance, it is Rasa Nirmiti. Yeah, Rasa Nirmiti, that means whatever I am performing, I am feeling, am I creating clone of those feelings who are watching to me? And that is what, for an example, a dancer is dancing on the stage and 1,000 people are sitting. But the rasa nirmiti, that means whatever I am feeling, is that getting done over there, and that is what is absolutely one of the essential part of the leadership. You may not be the dancer, but you should definitely to be an observer. And can dance be an observation? Definitely yes, because it takes care of most of the things. For an example, in Bharatanatyam, we have Padam, and we have Padam. It's a beautiful lyrical aspects. Padam literally in Tamil means soaked one, or maybe in Marathi we can say lonsa. That means we put something and then we put it for some time so that it soaks everything. Padams are lyrical expressions who are soaked with emotions, and they are beautifully taken, and they are literary, very high valued. There is another aspect to that, which is called a javali. Now, Javali doesn't have those lyrical beautification of alankaras, but it will be same expression which is given in folk words. That means if it is Wango in or maybe Yahweh in Marathi, then in Javali it will be Ye. But then both are expressing similar aspects. So I have definitely used this part of Padam and Javali into connoting various aspects of life of an individual into the work or maybe outside the world. There is a beautiful Padam which is called as Shivadiksha. And Shivadiksha, there is a Naika. Now, largely there the dance performance is Naika based. So she is heroine protagonist. She has taken Shivadiksha and she has been, I will also express it so that you will be able to find it out. She has been worshipping Shiva because it was given as an instruction that you need to do this thing. And she has taken the Diksha of Shiva. When she is doing this puja, she is looking somewhere at the doorstep. And who is standing at the doorstep? Oh, that is so beautiful, Narayana. I have been given this Diksha of Shiva. I am tied with rules of Shiva, but my mind is there that Narayana, who is so beautiful. What should I do? I have been instructed to do this thing, but my mind is going this thing. I have been instructed to take Tripunda, but I am looking at the Nama. I am putting the Bilva, but I am smelling that Tulsi. I am doing Panchakshara, that is Om Namah Shivaya. Within my mind says Navakshara, that is Om Namo Narayana. What should I do this thing? I am in duality. And that is what was the expression I brought into work-life balance. Because you are tied with something, but your mind is somewhere else. What should you do? You are in that kind of a tussle. You really need to accept those aspects into this thing. Now, this was one of the expression. There was another expression which is called as Sogosugu Jada. It's a Javali. Now, when we talk about Sogosugu Jada, she is a small girl. She doesn't know that when she got married, when she was playing, she got suddenly tied with a thread and she got married. Now her husband is calling her and she says, that beautiful Vishnu or Krishna is calling me. And she runs to the Krishna. Krishna, you know, that man is calling me for the duties, but my mind is with you. Will you wait for me? I will complete all my duties and then come and be in union with you. Until then, I will be like a lotus and you be like a sun. We will be away from each other, but we will not be away with the blooming and shining. That is what is the togetherness we will have when we are at distant. When we will be together, there will be no difference. You and me will be together. Now, this is again one of the expression which we could see. There are duties to be done. I cannot get escaped from this thing. But I have something which is also expressing, which is latter part of life. Should I give it away? No. It has to be like a lotus and sun. That relationship needs to be maintained and then go towards that path. Now, another expression, we'll see the Ardhanarishwar. When I'm not going to say in Sanskrit, but I'll take it in. Now, when I am seeing Shiva, he is wearing the Karna Kundala of Nag, but then Parvati is with jhumkas. When you see Shiva, with a moon on the head. She has a moon as a nose ring. When he is wearing naga on his danda, she is putting veli and flowers on her danda. He is putting all the bhasma, she puts kumkuma. This is the differentiation that can be seen. Now, when we talk about two different aspects and two opposite aspects, but still coming together and performing and celebrating, that is what we do every day. We live in the world of pole apart, but we live in the world where both the poles have to be attached together. And that is what is beauty of our dance culture, which is going to express this thing. You may not have learned dance, but then the thing is that learn, understand the poetry, understand the emotions, understand the expressions, understand the rhythm, the bhava which is coming, and then definitely you will be able to understand the psychology of people. You don't need to learn psychology differently at all. When you will learn psychology, you will relate it to Natya Shastra. Every moment, as we have seen, the story itself has been given with the so much philosophical foundation. If that foundation can be created better in our corporate world, I think so we will be definitely people caring, people centric organization, definitely.
Beautiful one, really nice. Here the from a very today's point of view, the problem Natya Shastra or the examples that you gave tells the problem statement and also gives a solution, and in a very beautiful manner that the examples are so beautiful that we can't even forget. I mean, just if we come out of, we take a breathing movement in a stressful day and just think about the sun and the lotus, I think how much relief we will feel that, one day we will be like, the time is coming, I am here, lotus blooming, and I will wait for, yeah,
One more thing. Sorry, sorry to cut you. And definitely, I remembered it now. Is it everything goody goody in dance? No, not necessary. It is everything which we see in every day.
absolutely,
There is
yes.
one beautiful javali which is called as Samayamiderara. Now I will tell you what is Samayamiderara. Samayamiderara, this means lyrically it says, come, this is the time. Now who is saying this thing? This is the Naika. Now what is the psychology of Naika? This is a Parakiya Naika. Parakiya Naika means what? She has wedded with someone but loves someone else, and she is welcoming that another man when her husband is out of the town. So she is saying, she is one way saying bye to her husband, another way she is welcoming the lover of her, and she says, this is the time you should come. And there is one more expression which says, uh, Kamalavairi. That means when the moon is going to be there, you need to come. That means this relationship is only in darkness. This cannot be shown to the world. And that is what is beauty of our literature, that it doesn't says no to any of the expression. Now, exactly opposite is that Samaya Dagadura. That means the lover has come on the door and she says, no, no, this is not the time. My husband is there, my sasu is there, my mother-in-law is there. This is not the time you should come, you should go away. That is what. So we can see the same poetry which is celebrating something, which is also talking about so many psychological aspects that we see every day in, day out, everywhere. Nothing is untouchable for dance. Everything can be seen in dance. That's what is beauty of dance. And can it be taken into our world, corporate world? Yes, there is dirty politics. Yes, there is beauty. Yes, there is celebration. There is leadership that we say. There is direction. There is chaos. Everything is there. And then I think so for expressing and explaining it to people, dance becomes one of the very beautiful method, I feel so.
The examples and expressions help to understand better. So we understood at a very organizational level, and these are some things that we will need to dive deeper, and we will need someone like you both to take us on this way. But I would like to ask, what for our viewers who, if they want, as we all know, dance is there in us, but we do not consciously exercise it. So, Rimate, I would like to ask you, can you give some takeaways how at individual level people can incorporate dance without having like a great knowledge or background about it?
Yes, absolutely. There are basically you are asking me how to relate in today's day, right? Relevance of dance in today's day.
Yes.
So basically, if we have to speak about dance, dance, is a means of attaining physical fitness also. So basically, you don't need to be really, really trained. But when you dance, you automatically use your anga, your body, your gestures, your hands, your limbs, everything. So automatically, you burn your calories as well as you get the fitness. So it is a very, very, very beautiful way of having your physical fitness. And it doesn't need to be monotonous. On every beat you can change the style of your dance, or you can change the positions of your dance, and just went out. If you are happy, just dance happily. If you are angry, you dance angrily, whatever. So this is for yourself. As you asked me for individual level, so if right now I feel very stressed from my work, and if I'm feeling like I just want to vent out my stress, I would go with it. So frankly speaking, it is very, very, very good way of having a physical fitness as well. Then mental fitness. Yes, we get really, really refreshed when we perform or when we express. So it is sort of a mental happiness, we can say, or mental peace we get. Then it works as a therapy. We also have so many children who are underprivileged or old people, or, it works as a therapy for them. Nowadays, it has been included in many, many places where they actually get people together, or, those who are in stress, or those who are underprivileged, or special children, or, it is really helping them out to come out of that problems and what we call it, if they are if they theory it works as a therapy for them.
Yeah.
So that they come as a happy person in their life. It helps us as a spiritual well-being also. If you see, in today's world, we are really, really coming towards a mechanical life more. So when you learn, I'm especially talking about the classical dance because you can actually relate to mythology. So you learn, you get to know our stories, our spiritual well-being. So what they teach us. So of course, that helps us in that way as well. And today now, it is our ambassador. It works as our ambassador as well, because we have been performing abroad, and there they really, really, are very much interested in seeing our performances, whether it may be classical, whether it may be folk. So it works as an ambassador also. It helps in the personal development. Of course, when you dance, when you perform on stage, you first need is confidence. Then you need the coordination. Now, coordination, I'm not meaning, like, for example, even I would love to show some example of the coordination of the body. So when I'm talking about the coordination of the body, I'm not only doing it. If I'm keeping my hand straight out and I'm not expressing, I'm just doing my hand. Doesn't make difference. So audience will not even understand what exactly I'm trying, which hand movement I'm doing. So if I have to show, I'm just looking at it and I'm just showing it. You are understanding, but there is no feelings in it. So when I have to show something, I have to be like, this way. It goes this way. So basically, it gives the coordination. So my eyes are also looking at it and looking in front. If I'm smiling, my lips are also used. So my shoulder is also used. So basically, I'm using all the angas, pratyangas, upangas of the body. So basically, they all need to be coordinated. It helps in our concentration. And most importantly, because we have to, catch the beat of every song. And we have to also do the rehearsals. So early morning, we have to get up, do riyaz. So discipline is the very, very, very important part of it. So D for dance, D for discipline. So a person really gets disciplined in this. And of course, nowadays it is like, previously it was not allowed for a particular caste or religion or, people to perform. It was only Devadasis who used to perform. But now it is opened up to all the religions and castes and everybody. So it is also come down to all the social media. So it is got the awareness of the performances. You can, come on the platform as we are today here, talking about everything from all parts of, I guess, place, I don't know, different parts of India, maybe. So I think so this all helps us a lot. So dance we can relate in today's life. Yes, definitely. I would say yes.
Amazing. So throughout the discussion, we saw how dance can help us to indulge in the right way all our karmendriya, gyanendriya. So it's a complete use of the body. It helps to express better, as she said. I would like to go a little more deeper when I ask how it can be used personally. So because we know at corporates or any individual, health is a very important thing. And I, having a dance background, I know there are some beautiful aspects of eye movements and neck movements that we can use in our day-to-day life for to keep our health on the desk itself. Either of you, if you are willing to show what Natya Shastra has some shlokas on it, what are they? I mean, what are the neck movements, eye movements we can use, everyone can use in their day-to-day life to have a healthy life for workplace or for individual? Anyone, I mean, I keep this open.
I'll give it to Rimaji. I think so. She will be excellent to express with the shlokas and the maybe Shirovedas and
Okay. So here
Drishti
I would
Vedas.
like to, here I would like to introduce to one more story, a short story, not a long one. So after this Natya Shastra was created, basically after a long time, rather not few, after a long time, Indra himself wanted to learn dance. So he went to Nandikeshwara, and he said that I want to perform and I can't learn so much together. So in 2 months I have performance. So I need you to concise this book for me so that I can read it easily. So Nandikeshwaraji wrote Bhartarnava, and it was basically, again, he felt it was very big for me to learn in 2 months. He told him to concise it little more. So Abhinay Darpanam is the book of Nandikeshwara which came up with 324 shlokas. And that book specifically talks about Angika Abhinaya. So your body, how to use your body. Now here I will relate the shlokas if you want. Yes, of course, Shiro Bheda. Shiro means your head and Bhedas means the different ways of placing your head. For example, Samam. I'm putting my head straight. Urdhvahitam. Up. Adhomukham. Alolitam. Dhutaham. Kapitam cha. Paravrutam. Uchchitam parivahitam. Navadha kathitam shirsham. Natya Shastra Vishardaihi. These are the 9 types of Shirovedas, keeping your head, are explained to us. But now if we have to, relate it to our day-to-day life, of course, when I'm sitting for hours together, and nowadays our laptops and mobiles are part of and parcel of our life. So once we begin, I think we are on that for hours together. So of course our body needs stretching. So again, when I have to stretch, I'll be just going, okay. So physiotherapy, what we take, again, it comes down to the same thing. So I'm stretching my neck. So it helps us to really. If I talk about Drishti Bheda, yes, my Drishti Bheda again, use of our eyes is too much nowadays. Of course, sir has shown the beautiful expressions through his eyes, but there are different ways of placing our eyes also. So Drishti is the eyes and Bhedas are different ways of moving your eyes. So basically, Samam, straight. Alolitam, Sachi, Pralokitam, Nimilitam. Ullokitam anuvritye tatha chaiva avalokitam. Ityashtau drishtibedaha siv kirtitau purva suribi. So basically, drishtibeda also, as he said, if I have to say come here, I'll be using come here. You're not coming. Why are you not coming? Come here. So even in day-to-day life, when we use eyes are also very important part of it. But again, if I have to relate it in today's life, definitely when I have to do some stretching, if anybody knows here, even doctors give us the candle and they say, concentrate on it. Then put your fingers here, look here and there, look up and down. So dance also has this. So of course, when we do these exercises in day-to-day life, definitely it will help us, help our eyes also. So similarly, we have Griva Veda. So every part of our body can be, put up in the shlokas form and expressed, and again got back to our day-to-day life. Again, physical fitness, mental fitness, it comes out from there. Yeah. Thank you.
Very, very beautiful. So I saw hands raised and I saw a few questions in the chat as well. We will have a Q&A like in coming 5-10 minutes, and we will take all the questions as much as possible. I will go to the last question because we are the students of ancient Indian wisdom and we cannot avoid the final goal that is spoken in our scriptures is to meet our highest potential, to meet our highest consciousness. Dances, when started, it started from temples, right? And it has a great way to reach to the highest potential. So from your personal experiences, what all inputs you would want to give on this aspect of dance where Reematai said spiritual well-being, how does that help, and how normal people who do not actually like have like Bharatnatyam background or Kathak background also can relate to it? We can start with Sandeep ji and then we can go to Reematai.
Okay, sure, definitely. And can we negate the contribution of our great architecture and dance? No. Can we negate contribution of dance not having in great Indian architecture? No. That means both are somewhere glued together. And that is why whenever you get into any ancient temple, you have uh, Nandi Mandap or maybe certain mandapa, and then you get into Nritya Mandap or maybe the place where the dance is getting performed. Then we go to Ardha Mandap and then Antarad, and then comes the Garbhagruha. Now, when we talk about Garbhagruha, Garbha means dark, and Gruha means the darkness is there. So, as we progress into any temple, it creates certain kind of spiritual energy. Largely, most of the best of the architecture we see is on elevated platform, and that elevated and best example is the Khajuraho temple. The elevated portion is called a Jagati. Now you could understand what is meaning of Jagati. That means everything which is of this world can be seen on this Jagati, and the temple is placed on the Jagati. So you go on to Jagati, you come to the first mandapa, uh, where you can see, and spiritually, if you will see, you should not enter into the temple directly. Spiritually, it is said that you should take one circle outside the temple. And what do you see? You see day to day work, you see such beautiful dance expressions which are being done. Sura Sundaris, you will see Vishnu Lakshmi, you will see Shiva Parvati, you will see Brahma Brahmani, you will see Ashtamatrikas performing and giving certain expressions. And these expressions are coming from Natya Shastra, definitely, or maybe even certain expression which is fearful or beautiful can be seen over there. Once you take that circle, you come to the steps in the temple, you get into the Nritya Mandapa. Nritya Mandapa is the mandapa where the blissfulness comes into. That means as you start getting nearer to the spirituality or the ultimate truth, the bliss starts coming in. and the bliss is coming with rasa nirmiti. And that place where the natya or maybe nritya manda is rasa nirmiti mandap. That means all types of emotions are going to be here. Nothing is untouchable. You need to have laughter, you need to have krodha also. I cannot say that I am just getting away from Kama. But then the thing is that yes, Kama is also needed, Krodha is also needed. How do I utilize, how do I channelize, and how do I keep them in my own self control? That matters, and dance definitely teaches you, because there is one dancer, and basically I'm talking from Indian dance performances, which are Ekal Nritya. There is only one dancer which is emoting so many things. In one moment, the person is becoming Yashoda. In another moment, the person is becoming Krishna. Third moment, the person is becoming Gopi. Fourth moment, now for an example, that is Madu Vakam Kannai, where Krishna is saying, I want to go out. And then Krishna Yashoda is saying, no, nothing going out. There are lions and there are elephants. Now the dancer is also becoming lion and elephant. There is a ghumman, or maybe there is a ghost outside. The dancer is becoming ghost. Yashoda is taking so many portrayals, Krishna, and so many aspects. Even a tree has been, the dancer becomes tree. That means you are getting near to the nature. Everything that you see around your world, you start becoming that. And then you proceed ahead. Where there is an antaral, when we in the temple, there is a long passage. It is not easy for a person to get to the solitude or maybe union with that ultimate truth. You have to pass with that passage which is called as antaral, and then you see darkness. Nowadays there are lights in the temple, but in olden time it was dark. And then you have to go, and with the senses you have to imagine the idol of the deity, or maybe touch and feel the deity, how beautiful that deity is going to be. And that is what is the union. The union cannot happen in light, it has to be in the darkness, because in the darkness you feel the ultimate truth, and that is the ultimate light. And that is what is the philosophy which comes, which combines the great wisdom of India and Natya Shastra, I think so.
Beautiful. Very beautifully put. Rimatai?
So here I would like to, he's of course, Sandeep sir has already covered many of the things. So here I would like to speak on something, again, spiritual only. And with the reference, as he's taken sculpture, there is Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, okay, from one of the Puranas, and which explains the interrelationship of arts. So again, there is a story, but I'm not again telling a story, of course. So wherein Martandeya is, explained, the God explained to Martandeya how all the art forms are interrelated to each other. So art may be drawing. When he wants to learn drawing, he says, no, you need to learn sculpture. When he says, you want to learn sculpture, no, you need to learn dance to know the sculpture. To know the dance, you need to know the music. If you know if you know the music, you need to know instruments playing, like sound, singing, and all. So basically, everything is interrelated. And I think so. All the art forms will come back to spiritual. One thing is creating sattva and getting one with Lord, which gives you the immense happiness and moksha. So that is what we all look for. And I think so if we individually think of learning it, definitely we are getting back to our culture. We are getting back to our own roots by learning our mythology, maybe the stories. And not only that, with that, we are also expressing through the sentiments. See, now when we are talking about sentiments, as sir said, that there is fear, there is Shringara, that is love or kama. So here I would like to say again, Natya Shastra speaks about 8 rasas, whereas Shringara, Hasya, Karuna, Raudra, Veera, Bhayanakaha, Bibhatsa, Adbhuta Sheti Ashtau Rasaha Smrutaha, wherein later on there was one more added, that was Shanta Rasa. So Sringara is what? Sringara is love, beauty. So love and beauty doesn't only mean that it is with husband and wife or a male and a female, but of course mother and a child as well, or friends. Any relationship, siblings relationship, it can be portrayed as a love and beauty. Hasya, anyone, we all love happiness. Yes, purity. Trigunas indicates purity. True, sir. So basically, hasya is something we express our joy, our happiness, our mirth. Karuna is something when we express grief. When grief also is again, have different ways. Like somebody fighting and having that grief, or I have fought with my friend, is another thing. And looking at the dead body of our nearest ones, that grief is again another. So which sort of feelings you are feeling is different. Raudra, anger. Hussana. Now again, Tandav ka anger is the extreme anger wherein he opens the third eye. But wherein if I'm angry with my mommy, you didn't give me food. Another one. So these are two different. Veera. Veera is the braver, where the soldier is fighting, and that is Veera, of course, heroism, we can show. Bhayanaka is something fearful, very fearful, wherein you are going in the jungles, which is dark, you are afraid of ghosts and all. Vibhatsa, disgust, something which is disgusting, we don't want to. And Adbhut, wondrous. Oh, I got a gift early morning. That too was something what my favorite is. I didn't expect, surprise. And this ninth rasa was not there according to the Shastra, but definitely Shanta, peace. Now, again, this is a debate point wherein some people say that Shanta is a rasa because the calmness of the mind is also sort of emotion. But some people say calmness is not the emotion because it is emotionless, it is Shanta. So again, that is another story. But first 8 points, when I think so, we can feel them and we can put it ahead in front of the audience, and audience can feel them. At that time, that sattva is created, and the dancer actually can say that she is one with the God, wherein she feels that happiness and that moksha is created. I think that spiritual level can only be felt when you perform. This is what I feel, ki spirituality automatically comes to you, and that is what spiritual thing is about. It's bibhatsa, sir, not vibhatsa. So this is what I feel spiritual thing in my life is actually.
Beautiful. So from both the answers, what essentially I could take was rasas is a part of life. You cannot like directly enter Shanti or the moksha and to enjoy them. So basically, life is a dance, and we are constantly performing rasas. And to do it gracefully is all about leading a beautiful life, and that is a very subconscious way that, anyways, we are going and leading our spiritual paths when we are actually enjoying them, but at the same time understanding that they are rasas and staying as an observer to it as well. So I there were a couple of questions I think regarding to this explanation. Someone, what is sattva? So if we can put a light on that, and then we can open for question answer.
Okay. So sattva is basically the sentimental part wherein, for example, chalo, I'll put it in like this as an example to make you understand what is sattva. I'm here, okay, and in front of me, my husband's body is dead. The dead body is in front of me. I can't imagine that grief, what I'm feeling. I can't imagine that. I can actually feel that I can see him somewhere. He's gone. He's actually gone. Is there anyone who felt what I felt in this? If I can cry here, at least somebody has felt some grief here. So I guess that is what I wanted to create in you. You feel me what I'm performing. That is, I have created sattva in you. Similarly, when I laugh, you automatically laugh. So that is where I have created this same emotion. So I have taken you all to my world. I have showed you what I want to show. You have lived my emotion right now. That was not your emotion. But watching me, you have lived that. That is where sattva is created.
Very powerful. And such a what a power a performer could be having that. I can see many people mentioning, and I can see the emotions also of the people and the whoever had the cameras on. Very beautiful. Okay, so I open to question and answer round. Feel free to come, unmute yourself and ask the questions. Aditi, are there any questions? Were there any questions in the chat box?
None so far. Lots of appreciation for the beautiful narration and illustrations, though.
Someone had asked, are there more examples of diversity and inclusion or something? I forgot it, but I had read it in the chart.
Rajesh had suggested that Sandeep ji explains DEI with the help of dance. So why don't you share a couple of examples?
Okay.
Yeah, and I also asked, ma'am, more examples on DEI.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go to Indian wisdom, and definitely that was also coming out of some kind of a. Narrate two stories and how diversity and inclusion can be taken, and equity, of course. Then there was one person in ancient time which was crooked at 8 limbs, 8 parts, which is called as Ashtavakra. And Ashtavakra was a great philosopher of that time. Janaka was a king who arranges a lot of debates and uh, goshti, where everyone comes and churns out the essence of life, etc. And Ashtavakra wants to go, and then Janaka also selects who is the winner as out of them, and then gives a lot of charity, not charity, but then rewards to that winner as such. So Ashtavakra goes into the Sammelan and stands over there. And then when he's standing there, crooked, everyone starts, this person is going to even talk. Does he even have sense? He has come here to debate with me. Such kind of expression keeps on coming. And then Ashtavakra is standing there, suddenly starts laughing. Janaka pauses for one moment and says, I understand all these people laughing at you, but you with cricket body, what makes you to laugh? And that is what is the question comes from the Janaka. Ashtavakra says, what are you laughing at? My body or the creator who has created me? What are you talking about? And that time Janaka realizes that what he has been doing is only surface level. And the deeper thing is the Atma who is sitting inside that 8 crooked bodies. So that is what is one of the story, which I don't think so that in this entire world there would be anything beautiful story than Ashtavakra stories for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I don't think so there would be any another which is going to come for years because it talks about essence. What are you laughing at? Are you laughing at the difference between you and me, or laughing at the creator's creation? What are you laughing at? And you are creating those differences. I don't think so. There is any other story than Ashtavakra story. The second one comes from a Purnanur story. Okay, Purnanur is the ancient scripture which are written maybe 5,000, 6,000 years back in Tamil. So there is a mother who has small child. Mother sees that there is a war which is taking place. She has lost her father, husband, and the elder son in the war. What should I do? Oh, I have a small child of 10 years. Come here, baby. I will take you up. Take this small Dhanusha. Take this Bana. Become like a brave person, like your father, like your grandfather, like your great elder brother. Go to the war field, have that war, and give your life for the motherland. And she sends that small child into the in the war front as such. In the evening, when she is waiting, lighting the diya, has my son come? Where is my son? Oh, suddenly, why these people have started gathering in front of my house? Why are they laughing? You are laughing, saying that my son was running away from the battlefield? Are you kidding? Are you even joking? My son cannot run away from the battlefield. In the olden time, once someone who is running away from the battlefield, the arrow, if it is on the back, that means you are running away from the battlefield. The mother says, no, it cannot be. I will go myself and see my child in the battlefield. If I see that he is running away from the battlefield, I will cut the breast from which I have fed my child. I will break my womb from where this child has taken birth. She goes into the war field. She looks everywhere. Where is my child? Where is my child? So many dead bodies. I can see only death here. So there is some small dead body. Is it of my child? Let me see. Oh yes, it's my son. Those people who are laughing at me, look at the chest. The arrow has gone in the chest. You cannot laugh. I am the mother of a brave child. See that dead body, how beautifully decored with that arrow in the chest. Oh, my child, come. You have made the name of my and the motherland everywhere. And she takes him there. This is another story where we could see that no matter what, we should not judge. We should know the reality. You should understand what is the reality. The judgment and biases needs to be taken out from our mind, and that is what is the truth, and that is what is sattva. Sattva is the truth. You have to go to the truth, and that is what I feel is um, we can talk in diversity, equity, inclusion.
Beautiful. I was just going through the questions. We have a couple of them. We'll try to briefly answer because I don't think then we will try to cover as many as possible. So one question is, um, how would you apply this in HR? Would it be fair to assume that this would help you to assess the candidate or employee body language and assess his fit? I think
I
that
think
comes
so.
to
Yes,
the
I
part.
do that most of the time. and not as HR, but any people manager who wants to manage people, create wealth of people, create assets of people for the organization, for the society, needs to understand core of the emotions. And I don't think so there is anything else in this world than a dance or maybe natya which can talk about psychology, because it is very, very scientific. As Rimaji said, this is natya shastra. This is not natya gammat or maybe natya patra. This is not. This is eternal. This is the truth. As we say that it is, or maybe my one of my teacher, Bragha Besilakka, she says this is a tradition which has been taken from that ancient time, and we are just clinging to that rope, and we are extending that rope for generations and generations, and this will keep on happening. Our work as people of this country needs to extend that rope to the next generations, and I don't think so performing arts can be an exception. I think so performing arts has a lot to do for the next generations and for understanding current people with that mindset.
Beautiful. There's one more question, which is, I think, where did it go? Just give me a moment. How is, so basically the question was, is rasa that comes is rasa conveyed to audience, or is it sattva that is conveyed to audience?
It is rasa that is conveyed to audience because you are into that sentimental state, and sattva is created because that is my sentimental state which you are feeling. So you are creating, I am creating that sattva in you. So basically, emotions or sentimental state is what I am performing as a dancer, and you are feeling it and becoming a part of my performance or my story, or I am taking to that era. So that is how the sattva is created in you through my rasas, through my sentimental state.
Maybe sattva is undiluted or pure, and when the rasa nirmiti happens, you are without any, what do we say, disturbance is getting into that rasa. I think so. And soaking yourself into that rasa is something which is
Yeah,
satvika bhava.
yes, there are sattvic bhavas, correct. So wherein stamba, sveda, ataro, manchak, vaivarnam, ashru, like stamba is getting statue on the place. Surprise. Sveda, you get perspired everywhere. Romancha, you get that, what we call horriculations, like, क्या बोलते हैं उसे हम लोग?
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, yeah, you get goosebumps. So that Vaivarnam, you change the color when you're angry, your color you would normally say it becomes red. There are these types of sattvic bhavas, feelings. So when I cry on stage, you tend to at least have the tears. So basically, I'm creating that in you. So sattvic, it was basically, it's like bhavas are connected. There are so many things which we put in, then the sattva is created. So to understand sattva, you need to understand the performance and to enjoy the performance to that same level with those bhavas and those rasas. Only then that can be created. The purity, as Sir said.
One last question I will take from all many. Anandji is asking, can we talk about Abhinav Gupta ji, who has introduced Shanti Rasa? So a brief about him.
Should I? So Abhinav Gupta ji is the author of Abhinav Bharati. So he's written Abhinav Bharati, and yes, he was the one who introduced Shanta Rasa for the first time. But then still the other scholars previously, post that, few of them have agreed to it, but few of them have not agreed to it. So still it is a debate concept only, but yes, Abhinav Gupta ji is the one who introduced Shanta Rasa.
Okay, great. So we can have the debate discussion ongoing. And it was a beautiful.
Maybe I can add into that, because Abhinav Gupta has given commentary.
Yeah, even I thought so.
He
Yeah.
has
Yes,
not
yes.
created anything, and when he is creating commentary, I think so he has taken that commentary to an extent of creating Shantarasa. And when I'm criticizing something, I'm a critic or making a commentary, I can take many examples. Like in Jnaneshwari, it is a commentary of Bhagavad Gita in Marathi. I have taken many upamas or many alankars, and that is why I am extending that small thing into a larger part, which will be essentially understood by people, and that is why it comes into
Correct.
this. And that is
Absolutely.
why I think so. This debate is very, very theoretical. I think so. Spiritually, it should not be
No,
there.
no, 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 yeah.
Okay, so Abhinav Gupta ji's commentary is one of the most powerful ones, and I could understand that was my beginning stepping stone to Natya Shastra. So, yeah, he has a great work. Okay, so I think we should you know uh, call it a off for this session. Beautiful one. It was learning as well, and it was being a Rasika and seeing the performances as well, which was like double the mark. So, Aditi, up to you. Please take over.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reema ji and Sandeep ji, for your time. We are all so blessed to see the world of Nritya through your eyes, actions, descriptions, and we really hope to have you over again. I don't think one session does justice to all that we have to learn and I think gain perspective from you. So we are deeply grateful for your time and coming together for today's session. And of course, Upasna, thank you so much for being the Sutradhar for today's panel discussion.
Aditi, if you don't mind, as we have audience, we have everybody here, why not actually before seeing off to each other, why not we do one Shirobheda together? Maybe it will be helpful for everyone. What
Of
say,
course.
audience? If we can have videos on, let's have that session of just Shirobheda so that at least you know the neck movement, so you can join with me, right? So should we go ahead with it, if you all
Yes,
don't mind?
please, over
Yeah?
to you.
I am going to speak in Sanskrit, the bolas, but you all know what is up, what is down, definitely. So please, my audience, my dear guests here, please let's begin with it. Shirobheda. We are going to stretch our back straight so that there is no injury. Roll your shoulders backwards. Yeah, let's go for it. Samam. Urdhvahitam. Up. Slowly, everybody will do. Adhomukham. Down. Alolitam. Round. Dhuta. Sideways. On one side. Kapitam. Cha. Paravrutam. Uchchitam. Parivahitam. Superb. These are the different ways we move
Super.
our heads.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we Indians are known for our neck movements.
Yes. So now I think so it will help them. Now they know the
Our
different ways of
yes
movement.
and no is
So
world famous, I think.
And actually, I think these movements are prescribed in your spondylitis and all
yes,
those
in physiotherapy it is
health
there completely.
issues
Yes.
also.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
in physiotherapy. In physiotherapy. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Also,
Thank
right
you
Thank you.
so
Thank you
much.
so
very
much.
effective in obesity.
Great. Thank you so much, Reema ji, for that. So now we bring today's session to a close. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I'd invite you all to now close your eyes, roll your shoulders back, sit straight. Take a deep breath. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurupyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. And we hope to see you at the next one. Namaste and good night.